Right, we are live. We are live on the YouTubes. Our very first stream. I wonder what's going to happen. What do
I'll
we
have to
think?
watch my tongue.
Yes, definitely watch your tongue. So this is the get up. This is completely new for us, isn't it?
Have you
So,
gone live before?
no,
I
not
thought you
here.
had.
On the Instagram thing I
Okay.
have, but not on here. So hello everybody and welcome to Leanne's weekly weigh-in with bloopers as well because we are live and we've got two. Oh, we've got tell you up there. Let's see. Look, we've got three people watching us. So
Hello.
hello everybody and welcome to Leanne's weekly weigh-in. I am Leanne and this is
I'm Paula.
Paula, and we are so excited to be able to stream live streamings on the YouTube this week. We felt that we needed to do it. Oh, Mum's in. Hello, Mum.
The mother-in-law on Mother's
See,
Day.
they're Happy Mother's Day. I forget it's
From
Mother's
a safe
Day.
distance.
It's Mother's Day as well. Gosh, honestly, isn't
Wait
it
for the comments
awful?
from the mother-in-law.
Oh, so we wanted to come on today just to do a live stream. So we're going to have the squeaky chair. There'll be bloopers because
There'll be inane waffling as we just stare into oblivion.
there won't be any magical pictures or anything appearing.
Although
here,
we do
here,
have
and
Baby
here.
Yoda.
We do have Baby Yoda.
So there you go. Yeah.
So we just thought we'd come on and share with you about what's been going on in the past week, how the YouTube has been, and how the swimming world has been, and
Or
also
not been.
and also our laundries at the back.
Oh yeah, just don't worry about
so
that. That's real life. It's reality. Come on, we're confined to our homes.
We are living in bizarre times at the moment. We really are. It's almost like partial lockdown, isn't it? I've been working from home 2 weeks now. So I have been working from home. I've hardly been out, haven't I? I've been climbing the walls with the dogs.
You have.
You've been out because your job is outside.
Yeah, so I'm still working just because I can. Yeah.
So welcome everyone to Leanne's weekly weigh-in. We've got 4 viewers. I am Leanne, and this is
Paula,
and
the other half.
The other half. And this week on the Slimming World scales, I lost 2.5 pounds.
That's really good.
It is really
considering
good.
you've been at home all week.
No, that's
and you've done no exercise.
This is the week before. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. No, the weigh-in is tomorrow. Now we need to just clarify a couple of things because we know that at the moment, Slimming World has actually closed down. It's on temporary hiatus because of obviously the restrictions to the government. And oh, Debbie, thank you, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. It's so exciting. There's people talking to us. So there's so much going on. So Slimming World is in complete stop at the moment, but that doesn't mean that we have to stop. And I think that's one of the key things. And with all of the chaos that's been going on with people buying endless rolls of toilet paper and cans of food, we just wanted to tell you that actually, do you know what? Life, it still goes on and it's normal. And you know what, we've had our ups and downs, haven't we? I have to say that one of the hardest things this week for me was the emotional trauma that you go through, where you go up and down all the time. You know, one minute I'm really okay with everything, I'm quite level-headed. Other times my anxiety goes through the roof.
That's all of us, I think.
And oh dear.
Sorry.
Keep an eye on the chat spanner. Yes.
Yes.
What's that? I don't know. Debbie, you can tell me.
I think she's trying to say that you're not allowed to talk about the dreaded C word. Because I was watching another video earlier.
Oh yeah.
So
no,
we'll just
yeah.
talk about the
no,
situation.
We're talking about the situation. The situation is all.
I think that's correct.
Well, I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, the situation is that you can get anxiety about anything, and it actually can it can trigger you. Well, it can trigger me definitely because I'm an emotional eater around my weight. And yesterday I was really quite triggered. I felt very vulnerable last night, and we put some things in place.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ate all that rice pudding, but I made the rice pudding.
So you made that like 3 days ago.
I did. I made the rice pudding, and Oh, you can make a moderator can hide any funny comments. Oh, I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what I try. I'm trying to multitask, not very well at it. So anyway, so yeah, I was triggered by yesterday. I just felt a little bit overwhelmed. I'd spent a lot of time at work. I'm responsible for a lot of people. They look to me. I've given some support where I can, and obviously given support to you, and also giving support to the young people at our church through our WhatsApp group. But it suddenly I was like, what about me? I need some support, and my support suddenly became food, and I was sitting there thinking, what can I have to eat? What can I have to eat? And there was nothing, and I'm very conscious that I don't want to overeat, but I also don't want to eat up all of our supplies as well. But what we did have, we had some pudding rice, which neither one of us is that partial to. But I made some rice pudding up with the. Now this is a tweak, and this is a tweak where you have to protect your weight loss with it. But I actually made a rice pudding using the diet cream soda, because we had that in the fridge. It had been there for ages. We'd had the rice that had been in there for ages, and so I made up this pot of rice pudding. And every time I felt really bad, and I felt really emotional, like I needed to emotionally eat, I actually ate this rice pudding. So, and every time I went to it, I actually thought about. I don't know if you remember this story when we were kids. Does anybody remember the story of the magic porridge pot, where she says, quick married little magic porridge pots and make some porridge nice and hot? No, you don't know that one.
You're the expert on children's tales, dear.
So the story goes where this lady was feeding food for the entire village, because they were going through a tough time, a bit like us really. So she had this magic porridge pot that I think a fairy or a witch had given to her.
Is it a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have to read it to you.
Well, thank you, dear. Read a bedtime story.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So what happened was the magic porridge pot. She told us she had to remember two things to start it off, and one thing, and then to finish it. So it was little magic porridge pot, make some porridge nice and hot, and then the porridge would bubble, and it would make the most delicious porridge that you could possibly have. And then when you finished it, it was like when you'd had enough, you had to say, stop magic porridge pot. That's enough porridge, thanks a lot. And it stopped. Now I think that somebody else actually in the story says the magic words to start the porridge off, but it doesn't know the magic words to stop it, and there's like untold porridge. Well, this is what happened with this rice pudding. I thought I was just making a small amount, but it was it absorbed all of the cream soda, and so I thought, oh, it's still a bit tough, so I kept adding more and more cream soda, and it was in a little pot, and it just kept expanding and expanding and expanding. So I ended up with all of this.
Did you put it into a bigger saucepan?
Yeah, and it just
because I remember coming home and there was just this mountain.
Yeah.
It's like it was just bubbling over.
Yeah, exactly. This rice pudding was overflowing. So I was like, okay, I've got enough rice pudding now. But I ate it in small measures. And every time I wanted something sweet, that I wanted something that was going to sustain me from my emotional habit for wanting to eat something sweet, I had a dessert spoon of this. Not porridge, rice pudding.
Don't forget the sugar-free biscuits. And also, you've been drinking loads of water. Like out of that huge gallon thing you've got.
They get the gallon.
Yeah. But you were doing that more at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, so I've been drinking like a gallon
just to fill up your stomach
of water to fill up my stomach. Because the other thing I'm very cautious of is that I don't want you to not to have enough food for you, because you're outside running around and doing all your
which is why I can still
I'm sitting
work.
there typing away. Well, I can still work.
Well, yeah, obviously, but yeah, with me going out, obviously I can still, because I'm pretty much self-isolated when I'm outside anyway in gardens, so I'm okay. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so that's how it's all sort of been, and I suppose for me, one of the biggest drawbacks was actually we saw that there was a lot of things going on. We saw the way that people were behaving in the stores, and we knew that Weight Watchers. Sorry, this is what happens.
Traitor! Burn you at the stake.
This is what happens when I usually edit my videos, Slimming World.
When you'll be hung, drawn, and quartered.
Amy's going to go. Leanne, so yes, I have Slimming World has decided to close, but in saying that, there are some groups that are still open, so keep it going. And I feel that this is a real great time for us as a slimming community, as a weight loss community, but also as a local community, because your Slimming World group is a local community, to really get together. And I would encourage you, if you have got an online support group for your local group through the Facebook page or whatever, you must go along and you must support each other and just send some encouragement and some stuff around. Just now, there's Belinda. Say hello to Belinda. Hi.
Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, there's 4 viewers there. Oh,
sorry, we're going to get distracted because we're doing live.
And we just waffle on with endless humour.
So there we go. So I think it's really important that if your support group has a Facebook group, make sure that you go along and you support your group, whether it's playing a little word game, which we've been doing. I have to say that Amy has been absolutely fantastic, our leader. She's been really great. She's done these video updates that she's posted on Facebook, which is one of the reasons why I said, should we do one as well? Because we don't know what's going on. We're only fed the same information as you. We're trying hard not to watch the news and not to get too panicky
too bogged down in social media.
Yeah, and as you know, we go to church, and one of the things that we got told today was actually, and I wanted to share this, and I know that you're not too bothered about me sharing about Bible quotes and stuff.
No, I'm not adverse to it at all.
But there is a quote from Philippians, which I've got up on the screen, which is Philippians 4 verse 6, and it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, and let your requests be known to God." Now, you might not be religious, you might not have faith, but there is a whole thing in there about not being anxious. We're not in control of this at the moment, but we can be in control of certain things. And whether it's supporting each other through your Facebook group, whether it's being in control of the portions that you're eating, getting the things in that you need to eat, and making sure that they are, if it's free food, that it's either we've had it in tins or whether we had it in frozen, because we're finding it really difficult to get further out and we're trying to social distance ourselves a bit. So going to our local corner shop and try and support your local corner shop. Our corner shop has been amazing.
It's perfectly adequate. So everybody descends on the supermarkets. And it's just, just go to the shops that you need to go to at the end of your road, if you can.
Our corner shop has had these big, massive
tins of
tins of tomatoes.
I'm surprised you carried them back.
I carried 2 of those.
That's a good bit of exercise for you this week.
Body magic, up the hill.
So my chair is squeaking. Sorry, it's not me, it's the chair.
Oil you like.
Yeah. Or some WD-40.
Exactly. We could do that next time.
I was going to say something then. You were talking. Oh no, I've lost my thread.
You've lost your thread.
I lost it years ago. It was about, I don't know. Do you carry on talking? It will come to me in a minute. We're talking about for the week, and I was talking about you drinking loads of water.
Exercise, because you're doing exercise and I'm not.
Well, yeah, but I've said that many times.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
I know. I never do exercise. I'm a bit lazy. I like a bit of walking, but not as.
You could do the washing a bit more as well.
Yeah, it's do other things a bit more. So yeah,
you can tidy up that pile behind us. So you have to laugh, don't you? The pile of clothes in the hall.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I've been trying to encourage myself about all what's been going on, and the one thing that if you've been watching my channel for the length that I've been doing it since January, one of the things that has helped me soldier on through with this time with the weight loss, actually I was looking at the amount of weight that I've lost at the moment.
I just remembered what I was going to say, and it was basically how you said Slimming World stopped. Obviously the physical meeting. So are you having an online chat thing?
We are.
Oh, okay.
We are.
Have I jumped the gun?
Well, I don't know if
I'll be quiet.
I don't know if everybody's doing it. So let's get to some news then. So in the world of Slimming World, apparently, and I don't know how true this is for everybody because our group's doing it, the Greenwich group, where they're trialing doing online meetings where you've got to weigh yourself on your scales. Now we do have scales. Not everybody has scales, but if you don't have scales, you can do your measurements, and they're going to take the so you're going to take your measurements or your weigh in on your own personal home scales by lunchtime. Send them off to your group therapist, your leader, and then they will do an image therapy through Zoom. Now, we trialed a session with Amy on Saturday at 5 o'clock. We did a trial, and it works really well. It's a bit like the Brady Bunch. You've got everybody there. You can see everyone, or you can just see your consultant, which is really great. And they can do one-to-one image therapy, and she can mute you all, which is great, especially if someone like me that can't stop talking. She'll be like, yeah, mute.
Is this every Monday?
Yes,
as per usual.
Yeah, and I think because obviously not all the consultants, but some of the consultants, it is their own income. That is what they do for a living. I think for that, it's going to actually pause. They're going to actually create a shorter, or what's the word? Again, we can't edit this, can we? Because it's live. What's the word where people pay? A subscription. Yeah, so it's going to be cheaper. Your membership fee for that week is going to be cheaper than it would do if you were paying your usual £4.99. So I don't know how much it's going to be. It might be £2.50, it might be £2, but you've got that option. But you don't have to do that, and you're not going to be penalised if you don't go to group. Also, if you have a countdown, which I do countdown, that is on a pause from your last weigh-in, and then it will reinstate whenever it is that we're allowed to go out and socially interact. But I think that's a really great way. I mean, obviously, Slimming World technology, as we know, is not as advanced as some of the other groups. I always say about the app that the Weight Watchers app is probably a bit superior to the Slimming World app. However, I do like the Slimming World program because I believe that you can live off of it forever. Which we've found out, haven't we, for both of us? But I do think that since we haven't had the update of the app, so I know that some of you have got the new app and it's being rolled out, and obviously that's going to probably create a hiatus in the rolling out of the new app. But I do think they're looking quite smartly at ways of working and how to have support networks for those that are at home. So I think that we're using Zoom, which is something that I've used at work before, not through my work, but through other companies that have used it, and I've been involved with Zoom, and it seemed to work quite well. In the same way as with Mum, we've been doing Google Hangouts, and I think that's all you can do at the moment. But I would encourage you just to be part of your local community, because I think it's in times like this where we get brought together and you really understand what it actually is to be human, and what it is to reach out to someone rather than just being stuck. And especially as we're in London, where we can be quite closed doors. We've even noticed our neighbours have started, like, it's really made them think about they need a community, and we've been chatting to them and getting to know them a bit more, haven't we? Which has been.
I know so many people have got neighbours that they don't even know or speak to.
No, it's different outside of. I think outside of the M25, it might be a bit different. But
hopefully, this situation will, bring the human spirit together.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what my prayer is, especially.
Hopefully that's what we can learn.
And I think that that's one of the most important things. And one of the things I was just going to say before you remembered, and this is what my little marker is. This is my little Mr. Rogers, and this is Mr. Rogers with the trolley. As you know, my
He's got panic
girl. No, he's not panic buying. No.
So I've got a sense of humour and everything.
This is my Mr. Rogers. I've got one of three of these because you're.
Are they all different?
Yes, one is with the trolley, one's got Daniel Tiger, and the other one's got King Friday the 13th, which your auntie sent me.
Okay.
But he was the reason why I've got my target of 143, because he stayed at £143 all of his life, and it stands for I love you. one of the things that he talks about is he talks quite openly with young children about the difficult things in life, and when he said when there are really bad things in this world, and his mum used to tell him, if things are bad, always look for the helpers, and there is hope. So we need to look to each other for being helpers and supporters in this time, and especially within our own little community, because there is a tendency for most of us, let's be honest, to stockpile, and then if there's a lot of food there, to eat it in large quantities. And I am the first to put my hand up to say, yes, I would want to stick my head into the bread bin or eat the chocolate and that, but I haven't done.
You haven't eaten bread for months.
No, but
hence the bread bin.
Yeah, so I think it's really important just to, if we do feel ourselves triggered, chat to each other. Say, I'm finding it tough at the moment. It's tough anyway in the winter. Where it's easy in the summer when there's salads, but it's even tough in the winter when you can get so complacent and bored. But yeah, anyway, trying to share anything?
No, I'm just sitting quietly behaving myself. It's, talking about your slimming. I've got the BDI on this.
You've got the BDI on this. Come on, so this is a bit of body magic.
Because she hasn't done much exercise this week.
She's going to tell me.
So she's going to promote this, which is the share workout DVD. In fact, there's 2 of them.
Yes, I love these, Mum.
Everyone loves a bit of share.
Mum, do you remember when I used to? My mum is online. Say hello to her. She's Carol Fuller. You can chat to her in the show notes or in the comments below or in the sidebar. So when I was I suppose I was a teenager or in my 20s, I used to do this religiously. It was back in the day of DVDs. No, not DVDs, VHS. I had the 2 VHS ones, and then I found these on eBay. And it's the only place that had them on DVD. And I think that they're not in English. I think they're in German.
Didn't we buy them and then I gave them away and you bought them again?
Yeah, because I love this. I love this.
But the irony is you don't use it.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it. I love this. I love share.
You love it so much you don't do it.
I love it. Do you know what? Do you know what? He's going to go really mad because he doesn't know this next bit. I've kept it from him. So one of my favourite things on this DVD, he's going to go ballistic. So
don't make me swear.
So basically, what I did was I got the DVDs out. No, we did have to buy these again. So
you did, because I give them to a charity shop.
Yeah.
And there was that
that
Zumba thing as well. I got rid of that, and then you bought it all again.
No. Shall I tell you something?
It's a bit like that treadmill that we had once.
Oh, Sunday confessional. So no, let me tell you.
Your sin, my child.
These did go into the charity.
I know what you're going to say.
Oh
God, I can't believe it.
Took them out.
So they're the same ones. You bitch.
Can't edit it out.
I don't care. It's just fine. So
right.
at least it saves some money.
So it has saved some money. So Mum will tell you. So this one was the original one, and this was like the one where we did the crunches and stuff, which when crunches first came out, it was like a big thing. She looks
great though, Cher.
Yeah, she does.
Absolutely gorgeous.
You too can have a body like this.
Absolutely.
With lots of money and a plastic surgery.
There you go. So, she was like 71 or something.
Yeah, she still looks good.
Yeah, she looks amazing. A bit like Joan Collins.
So that one was it was in the early 90s, and it's all Cher's music, and it's really, really good. And I love Cher's music, and this one had the step aerobics. Yes, me such a member of the bands. And then this is my favourite one, because this was the one which had the hot dance. I'm going to get more
confessions out of her now on air.
This is the one with the hot dance, and the hot dance. I can't know if you can see it. And then the Mighty Bands, which I absolutely loved, and they actually came with these different colour bands, which were like weight bands, and
hence those Zumba bands. You had that latex
Dyna
purple band.
bands. Yeah. So I thought, and this is the best one because it was a dance workout. So you learn how to do things like the pony. It was like, I pony, you pony, we all love to pony. And my dad used to sit there wetting himself because he thought of a
bit
pony.
like you did, sit there wetting yourself.
He used to say, they're doing a pony and trap, which we're from Southeast London, so it's rhyming slang for having a crap. So he used to laugh at me doing this workout all the time. But my favourite bit was halfway through the video. There was 20 minutes or 40 minutes of dance exercise, and then there was 40 minutes of weight bands, and it was when they first came out with scientific evidence that you didn't just do cardio. If you did weight training as well, it would burn up more calories. But because women were scared of going to the gym, they created these Dynabands. And this was one of the first DVDs that used them, but it was absolutely brilliant. I can even remember as you were stretching them, the music, it was like, hey, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Yeah.
I do remember we bought them and I did give them away. And then I remember you bought them again because you ordered them online.
I'm glad you should say that because, because this week
you couldn't make
I ordered some more.
You serious?
Yeah.
Oh, God's sake. So did I get rid of them twice? It's the purple bands, isn't it? Oh,
no, they're the green ones because the purple ones are the hard ones.
Thank God it's the green ones, not the purple ones. My favourite colour, dear. Oh, seriously. So, did you get these in the week?
I did, yes.
I nearly swore. I have to be sensible.
So what I have done, what I did was I put the DVD through the computer and I pulled the actual.
I can't believe I didn't even see them sitting right in front of me under those DVDs. You cow. Yeah, carry on. Go on. Talk, dear.
So what happened was I put it through the computer and I actually have it now as an MP4. So I can actually put it on my iPad, which means that I am going to do some weight training in the other bedroom so that the dogs, because last time I did it, the dogs got in. You can't believe it.
I was just thinking of that time when I bought that treadmill. But that was like boom, 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 boom. You were running all the time. We had to give it away because we were on a first floor.
And it made so much noise.
Yeah. And I remember I gave it away, didn't I? On what's that shopping website where it's free and they come and collect it?
Oh, Gumtree.
No, it was another one. It was either that one
or
no, what's it called? It's Free Cycle. Yeah.
Yes.
And these two guys came to collect it. To get it down the stairs.
Because they created a gym in their garden. They couldn't believe they got a brand new treadmill. But yeah, it's very difficult in a flat to be able to do workout. Although we do have an upstairs and downstairs because we're a masonette. So I am going to do my Dynabands to hopefully with that exercise and also the I pony, you pony, the hot dance. So
we all have a pony.
We all have a pony. We all love to pony. That's what it says.
Absolutely.
It's honestly, if I don't know if it's available online, but I do love my old DVDs and my old videos. And I just thought, you know what, I really want to do the Share Fitness again. And it was there. And I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a go at doing it. So
didn't I, seriously though, I keep waffling on about it. Didn't I get rid of them twice? So is this a third time that you've bought them? Or have we still got the other set lurking around?
No, I don't know. I knew you'd be cross.
So if you want any Dynabands, we've got loads. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Anyway, if anybody else wants to do the Share Fitness or do one of the exercise routines that you had from the 80s or the 90s, I think now is a time to get back in to get your leg warmers on.
Now that you're all confined to quarters.
Let's be like the kids from Fame. Let's go leg warmers and headbands and armbands. Do you remember all that? I really think we should be onto something here.
Here we go.
I'm sure.
I sense another huge Amazon assortment coming.
No, that's it. Just a Dynabands.
I mean, I've even stopped buying miniatures just for the time being.
But it's fine. It's just I need to do some exercise.
Okay, no, that's fine.
When
I'm out in my gardens on my own.
Stretch my own.
You go. You do that. You do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna get so told off after
Come on, I want the mother-in-law to come out with some more confessions. Come on, mother.
But she does say, she says that I used to do the bands. I did it. I used to do it in the front room. So that's sort of like where we are this week. And I think
I'm working tomorrow and Tuesday.
And I'm working from home all this week, and I don't know what's going to happen because I'm half expecting work to say go and work in a store, because obviously we have stores have become like key workers.
So all the head officey people go and.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. So if that does, I'll be down at Chelton and helping out, which I don't mind doing, because I think that's really important that we help the key workers out there.
Are you doing that slimming oil thing tomorrow evening? The Zoom thing?
Yeah, Zoom. Yeah, that's going ahead. Yeah.
Right.
But how are you all getting on? Mum's telling you off.
Stop moaning. She wants to keep fit. Okay, I hear you.
There we go. See, thank you, Mum.
I'll get you pushing a lawnmower.
Are you going to share your...
Share my what? My confession?
Share your little Yoda.
Yeah,
because this one came, didn't it? This came.
So we had that in the week. And the first of many Baby Yodas, if you're into Baby Yoda.
Yes. Well, we're excited about that because Disney Plus comes out on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So we get to see the Mandalorian from scratch, which is quite good. So yeah, that's one of your birthday presents. But as he was a bit anxious the other day, I gave him a Baby Yoda.
Oh, to pacify me. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was why. She had to pacify me. Yeah.
Oh look, Debbie's out with Charlie.
Oh wow! Yeah, I've been watching your videos. So are you doing like a walk every day? Oh, Baby Yoda. Yeah, thank you.
That's Belinda.
Oh, hello.
It's so nice. It's so nice to chat to people. Look, I think.
Come on, more chit chat.
Let's have some chit chat.
Get it on there.
So obviously, you get to see us every week. We come into your homes, and thank you for inviting us into your homes. It's been absolutely brilliant to have you invite us into your homes and watch us each week. But if you want us to ask us some questions, we're here. We're open to chatting to you all. Give him a dummy.
Watch it, mother. Watch it.
She's going to troll you.
The mother-in-law's off.
This is it. She's allowed to troll you.
She's the mother-in-law.
Oh, so yeah, that's sort of been. There's not really much to talk about. At church we did our service today remotely, which was really quite good actually. Mike did it. Our church is now available on YouTube if you want to go and have a look. It's CBCF Live. So if you want to get some spiritual input, you can go along to see our leader, Mike Leader. Funny enough, that's his name, isn't it, Mike Leader?
The irony of the name.
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
name. But
very fitting.
It was really lovely. He was playing his piano in his back room. And then he's got the front room and the back room with the piano. And he was playing along.
Yeah.
And
so I'm just reading. You carry on.
And he puts all of the. I'm a Weight Watcher. Don't burn me at the stake. That's fine. If you honestly, I slipped up with Weight Watchers.
Yeah, you obviously missed the beginning where she committed a cardinal sin by saying Weight Watchers instead of Slimming World.
Never mind. Look, everybody's welcome. That's the best.
I'll have to give you 50 lashes afterwards when we finish.
We're all inclusive on this in this little world. You can be whoever you want to be. You can go to any meeting that you want to go to, because we're all in it for the same good. We're supporting each other through our weight loss journey, whatever walk of life we come from, whoever and whatever we are. We're all in it together, and everybody's welcome here, and I think that's why we enjoy doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've enjoyed it.
I was just thinking about the Snowdonia thing.
Yes.
So I'm assuming because everything's being cancelled, like loads of gigs have been cancelled this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm assuming that the Snowdonia walk is off. I'm assuming it will be.
I'm hoping it's not.
Even though it's outside.
Not. I know that Debbie mentioned it she actually mentioned it on the
channel.
Right, okay. Thank you for her mention on the channel on Monday when you were talking about that, Debbie. But Snowdonia, we don't know what's going to happen with it.
Because it's scheduled for June.
It is scheduled for June.
It's around the 13th.
But it could get moved. I mean, we could do it another time, which is not a problem. I did actually think we need to get we need to book a hotel or something. Or we might end up.
We need to find out what's going on first.
Yeah, and might get to stay with Tim and
Just depends
John.
how the weeks pan out with all this business that's going on.
See, so many things we've got to think
the
about.
drama.
There's so much drama, isn't it? But look, whatever happens, I do want to go up that mountain. I am just determined. I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it.
We should do the hard walk.
No.
Yes, come on, in at the deep end.
I've got to get my hiking boots.
I know.
I need to look into that. I need to have a special message with you. We need to come to have a chat offline to find out about hiking boots and stuff and what you actually use.
Do you know roughly how many miles it is?
No.
Debbie probably knows.
Debbie knows. Debbie's done it,
okay.
and also Amy's done it. Because this is the irony. I had no idea, but Amy and Debbie both did the walk together last year.
Right.
So
well done.
I was talking to Amy about it, and then we saw Debbie's video about it, and it was like, ooh.
And you were like, oh, we got to do that, love.
Yeah,
we got to do it this year, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we ended
brilliant. I'm up for that anytime, as long as
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
that's something to look forward to. What are you guys looking forward to? What's going on in your worlds? What have you got to look forward to later on this year? Because obviously in the foreseeable future, at least 3 months, we need to know that things aren't happening, but we are looking forward to the future. Do you know what I did the other day?
Go on.
Do you know, this is
what you didn't do or did?
No, this is what I did do. This is the totally Leanne thing to do. In fact, I think you know I did this. So we've been having like a daily catch up at work. We've been doing a Teams. We're on Teams, so we did a Teams virtual lunch, and we do it with our different groups. Mum said to she, can you imagine my mum?
She wants me to wheel her up Snowdonia. That'd be brilliant. Well, you could do that. That's good exercise.
Trying to kill her.
Gosh.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah, we had a Teams meeting, and I was in with the diversity group. We had a meet up, and we saw each other, and it was really, I think in this times it's nice to see each other face to face. And I was having a bit of a down day, and I thought, what can I do to cheer myself up? So you
thought I'll order some Dyna bands.
What I did was I decided to have a Christmas jumper day at home. Do you remember?
I'm sorry, I'm just reading that comment from Debbie's World. I have until the 31st of May for free cancellation of the B&B. Okay, so there you go. That gives a little bit of heads up. Yeah. Thank you.
8 miles.
Oh, 8 miles, right, okay.
There we go.
Oh, it's a mere stroll in the park.
Yes, we do that. We do that quite quickly, don't we? But it's all on flat. This is going up.
It's okay. The hardest walk I ever did.
Go on. Tell me about your hardest walk.
And it was about 10 miles, and it was in Cornwall on the northern coast. And it was about, God, what was before I met you? And we just did it in a day. Well, it was less than a day, and it was like rugged coastline up and down, probably even harder than Snowdonia. I mean, some of the ascent bits were crazy, and even at the end of that, I was pretty knackered. That was an incredible walk, though.
What did you wear? What shoes did you wear?
just wear it. Seriously, I know you don't have to go and suddenly spend stupid amounts of money.
Yeah, but I don't
all the gear and no idea. You just need to have sensible. Seriously, you need to just have sensible footwear that you're comfortable in, and that doesn't rub on your feet.
I don't have.
And sensible flat footwear. We're not talking, obviously, the little slippers that we have on here, but just sensible walking shoes.
No, I need to get some.
And you'll be fine.
I don't have any.
Yeah, you want to wear them in a little bit, because if you get a new pair.
That's why I think I need to get some.
But you don't need to get like some hardened hiking pair of boots. Just something sensible.
No, I was looking on JT Williams. They had I had a nice little pair there.
Okay.
Thought, yeah.
No, that's fine.
They were pink.
Okay. There you go. Were they?
Yeah, yeah, and purple.
Could easily see us coming up the mountain.
Yeah,
with pink boots on.
Should be wearing pajamas. Let's just don't know.
They'll get you for wearing red shoes on a Thursday.
I kind of tell.
Sorry, carry on.
Honestly, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because I just would like the world to get back to normal. To be honest, eventually, but don't know what's happening in June.
Can you imagine at the time when you're standing there, and obviously Debbie, you've done this, and we haven't, and you've done this, but to actually stand there and look and see the view, and just to think that everything is all right in the world, and no matter what we're going through now, to put it all into perspective, is that actually that world has been there for years and years and years, way before we were ever here, and way after we're going to be here, and you know, it still survives and it's still there. And I think that, you know, that's going to be quite for me, it's going to be a real great time of reflection. And it's going to be, can you imagine after having all of the rubbish that we're going through at the moment, to then be able to go up a mountain and then just see everything.
That's why I love nature so much.
I know that's why.
That is my worship. Yeah, I just love nature.
But I'm really excited to see all the colours and the. I'm really excited. I'm even more excited about that train because I'm hoping to get the train.
What is that coming down? Is that via the gift shop to buy some Dynabands?
Yeah. I climbed the Snowdonia mountain, honestly. Look.
I'll get you a little badge.
Look what you're doing to me. You're getting me all anxious now about.
Oh no, don't be silly, honestly.
I think
I just hope that obviously in the next couple of months, you know, things pan out with all this business, and
yeah, I hope so.
You know, I just hope that the world does become a better place.
Yeah.
And that we just, you know, pull together, and you know, it should like rekindle the human spirit, I hope.
Yes, we need to like get together. And I think that we've never had anything like this in our generation.
I know, it's really weird. We were talking about this the other day, and it's like the older generation that have lived through the Second World War.
Yeah, like
my
stepdad has.
You know, people like that have lived through a sort of major traumatic time, although this is a different scenario. But it's we've never faced this before, and it's just quite daunting.
Like that, you know, when I think about that, and everybody's panic buying now, but that, you know, this is just 2 weeks.
No,
they had
people need to chill out.
They had years and years and years of rationing and support, but nobody. But I don't know. Perhaps they did panic at the beginning, but you know, everybody pulled together.
There's a lot more people in the world now, though, which is, you know, so many people have had.
You know, but we should learn from the past, you know, and really learn to get, you know, reach out to each other and support each other.
Yeah, I hear you, absolutely, yeah.
Definitely. But so I think that's really where we're at this week. It's all about supporting each other, because we've gone through it, haven't we? We've had our ups and downs this week.
I think everyone has. We've all had our ups and downs.
And that's not been, we don't fight, do we? We never fight or argue, but we've had our moments where one of us has felt really a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, I think like sometimes I've come home from work and I've felt a bit down and a bit emotional just with what's going on outside, and you know, because I work outside with nature, so I'm on my own a lot, so that means I can fortunately go to work, you know, because I'm in gardens all the time. And it's like, you know, I've come home this week a few times and I've just like literally felt like bursting into tears, where you think, what the hell is going on? And then obviously other times I feel stronger, and then you feel a bit vulnerable and a bit down. And obviously we're all there to support each other. So yeah.
And I think the other thing that we've done is I said, right, okay, we're gonna have a bucket list of films. And Mum's telling us some stuff.
Sorry, I'm just reading.
So reading what Mum's saying, she's talking about Dad. I just remembered Dad and I had been up the mountain.
Been up the mountain?
Oh, we went on the train. Oh, yes.
Oh, so have you been up Snowdonia? Have they done it? Oh, you've done it?
They went up on the train, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember they did that before.
You went up on the train. Did you walk back down, or did you get the train down?
She wouldn't have walked back
down. She wouldn't have walked back down. Or you're going to get a slap for that one. The old mother's going to be cursing you.
She's going to hang out with me afterwards. She's going to say, "What did you say about me on that video?"
Oh, thank you, Belinda, for that.
Oh,
we've been waffling on for 43 minutes.
I told you it'd be about an hour. I didn't know that.
Oh no, I said, will it be? You know. You said an hour. I thought,
yes.
An hour? That's quite a long time.
But we did. One of the things that we've been doing is I said, right, we're going to have a bucket list of films that we want to watch. So you wanted to watch Aquaman, didn't you?
So we watched Aquaman.
We loved it.
Oh, it was brilliant.
It was absolutely brilliant.
I can't believe I've never seen it.
It was so good. If you haven't seen Aquaman, go and see it. It was just
go and see it.
Yeah, you can.
It's been out already, dear.
No, but I downloaded it. Download it off of well, did we get it from iTunes, didn't we? So get it off of iTunes, or download it from your other, I don't know what other video channels there are. I don't know. It's not a Marvel, is it? It's a DC.
I always get it mixed up. It's one of the two.
So
it's either Marvel or DC.
It might be on one of the streets. It's not on one of the.
I think it's DC because it's Justice League. He's part of the Justice League.
Okay, yeah, DC.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah.
So we've got Amazon Prime. We've got what have we got? Netflix, iTunes, and Disney Plus. And
I have not seen A Quiet Place because the second one's just coming out now, and that's been on my radar actually to watch.
Is that the one where they're not allowed to speak?
Yeah.
God.
No chance.
I'd be
Can't get a
desperate.
word in edgeways. God, they'd kill us first.
I don't want to see that. I'm scared.
Perhaps we should watch that later.
No.
You get quite anxious, wouldn't
I
you?
would
You
get really
claustrophobic.
anxious. I would really get anxious.
We're watching at the moment Swiss Family Robinson.
I love
And we
that.
started watching it last night. A great isolation film on an island.
Do you know what made me laugh? I said, come on, because we've had Disney Life for about 7 years, which was the trial to see the Disney streaming service. The UK had it, so we've had it for over a couple of years now.
It's A Quiet Place, love. Just watch it.
I just can't watch The Quiet.
A loud place.
Generation Gob.
Oh,
That's
God.
me, isn't it?
Gobby.
So-
Generation Gob. A gobby place. Oh dear.
Really, it's all going a bit to
I've
pot
actually
now,
wanted
isn't
to
it?
watch that though.
Okay.
The sequels. I love a good horror. I love horror.
Let's just watch Swiss Family Robinson
Yeah,
first. So Swiss Family Robinson was on the Disney Life channel. So before we moved over on Tuesday, we still got Disney Life, and it was one of the films. I think we've actually got it on iTunes as well. But I said to him, "You must watch it because you'll love it because." You're not that bothered about Disney, are you? But when
I'm not a Disney fanatic
but
like
when
you are.
But however, whenever we go and watch any Disney films, you actually like.
I'm glad you're in fits of laughter. That's what it's all about. Seriously, we need to laugh and lighten up and try and pull together and just entertain each other from a distance.
From a distance.
When I can get a word in,
what's it called?
when it's not a
Social distancing.
Get up in your face. Gosh. Oh dear.
So we decided to watch this Family Robinson. I said you'd really like it. They do that.
It's one of those things that's like just I've been aware of it for years and I've just never watched it.
Now this is another one where Mum is going to love this. Mum will she'll remember this. So years and years and years ago, we used to have
back in my day, years ago,
in the 80s. Well, I haven't got it here, but I've got
the 80s. Oh, who misses the 80s?
So
can we go back to the 80s, please? 1987 was a good year.
I'm glad you said that because we can go back to the 80s.
Some great albums came out in 1987.
I've got this in some protective.
You still haven't even opened it. Okay, this is the other half has got all these parcels that she's never even opened.
No,
There's a whole load downstairs in that little alcove.
Yeah, but
I don't even know what's in them.
No, neither do I, but that's
exactly. You order them. It's like Secret Santa.
Yeah, that's exactly why. So one of the things that I do.
Let's have a look, dear. See what you got. Ladybird books.
They're the Ladybird classics. Now this is why I'm opening.
By the way, if anybody's got any children's questions, like children's television programs from the 80s or the 70s, Leanne's got the answer to everything. You should be on Mastermind for children's TV programs.
Show the viewers. They want to see some good.
Show those lovely viewers. Right, Alice in Wonderland. Can we say it without the light reflecting on it?
Look, these are the original
a whole array
Ladybird classics. But what they used to come with.
I was just sorry. I kept thinking of those, all those naughty ones that they do adult versions.
No, these are not. These are the proper ones.
Because I'm just such a deviant. What Katie did, I mean, I don't even want to comment on that. That could be really naughty.
No.
Sorry, you've got to laugh. But Little Women. There's going to be some great titles. The Happy Prince.
These are lovely.
The Invisible Man.
No, so you'd like that one.
The Wind in the Willows. I love The Wind in the Willows. Great story.
Two Wind in the Willows.
Oh, hello. Why have you got two?
Because this one is the tapes.
Oh, okay.
These are the tapes. Do you remember?
Oh, look, The Secret Garden.
Yes, that was one of my favourites.
The Railway Children.
This is
a young Jenny Agutter in the TV adaptation. Yeah. Very nice. Black Beauty.
See, I love these.
A Little Princess.
This is what makes me happy.
King Solomon's Mines.
Happy Place.
And then we're back to Alice in Wonderland.
But then the other one that you had. So these are my originals, and then I started buying the tapes, and these were brilliant. These were absolutely brilliant. They actually had some. They also had classical music. So this is where my love for classical music used to come from. And I remember that the very first one I ever got, which my mum and dad bought me, And they used to be £1.99. Used to get them in Woolworths, the Telltales, and they were with Lady Bird and Pickwick. And the very first one that Mum and Dad ever gave me, and I can even remember the piece
Do you
of
not
music.
still have it?
Yes, Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh, okay, that was the first one.
Yes.
Ooh.
With
the one that's now sitting by my side of the bed.
Sitting by the side of your bed, because you wanted to know what happened. And I said...
So yeah, we're watching the film, and I sneakily, earlier today, I went to the end of the book just to see what happened.
Because it's a 2-hour film.
I know. I thought it's on for a long time, but it's brilliant. Love it.
It's
and
really
I just
good.
had to see what happened at the end.
And I think he thought I was going to put on a cartoon, but it's not. It's a live action film. It's made in the 1960s. It's actually made in 1960.
Yeah, and it's all proper locations as well. They used all the animals in there.
Yeah.
There's no CGI or nothing.
No CGI. It's proper, and it was done in the West Indies, in Tobago.
That's it. Yeah, you said.
And it is such a great feel-good movie. And I said to him, we must watch this.
I think we've got about 37 minutes of it left to watch.
We've been watching it in spurts, because obviously sometimes the dogs go down. We watched it quite late last night. We were tired, so we started to watch that. But so yeah, and there's a couple of other ones, and we've been watching the 40 Towers. Oh, that's been brilliant.
Only made 12 episodes of that, didn't they?
Yeah. But we've been watching those as well. We've been watching one of those tonight, and we've done The New Normal.
That's a really good. Yeah, we watched like 3 episodes of that. The New Normal. Is that on Netflix?
That was on iTunes as well. Yeah. So that, I think you can get it on Amazon Prime too. So The New Normal is by the guy who made Pose and Glee and American Horror Story. And yes, it's a really great.
I'm glad we're so funny, Mother. We try.
It's a great program, and it's about a gay couple that end up having a surrogate. But it actually talks about like your social norms, and it talks about racism. And
how long's it been out?
I think it was 2016.
Oh, so it's been a few years.
Yeah, but it was one of those ones that I think it was on E4, so it might even be on catch up. But you can have a look. But I really, really like it, and the guy who plays in it, who's the main character, he was in the Book of Mormon.
Mm.
He's a really good Broadway actor, actually, and he was in the Book of Mormon when it came over here, which we went to see for your birthday a couple of years ago. But we didn't like it, did we?
It was. I don't really remember it vividly.
No,
I mean, it was just making a mockery of obviously Mormons, but it was funny.
Yeah.
But 2 other things I've been watching lately, if you're interested, is Better Call Saul, the new series,
I like that one,
which is fantastic, better than Breaking Bad, I think.
Yeah, me
and
too,
Picard, the new Star Trek thing, which is really good. It had a little dip about sort of 3 episodes in or 4 episodes in, and it got a little bit. I thought it was losing my attention. But then it's picked up again, good. And it is really good.
And the one I like is the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Is it Maisel?
Yeah, Maisel, I think. And then I've been watching That Girl as well, which is the 1960s program.
Is that a spin-off from Mary Tyler Moore? Is it nothing to do with?
No, but I think Mary Tyler Moore came after it. But Mary Tyler Moore show, it's my favourite.
So I always thought they were all connected.
No,
and Rhoda as well.
Rhoda, Phyllis, and Lou Grant.
Okay.
Love Mary Tyler Moore. If you've never seen the Mary Tyler Moore show, that's on iTunes. You can download it. It is so good. It is one of my favourite programs. We've nearly done an hour.
I know, 53 minutes.
I hope that you're not all fed up with us. There's 4 people who have actually stayed on.
Amazing, those 4 people, they deserve a medal.
Well done for everyone for staying.
Hope they're not hanging from a noose as we speak.
Like Aeroplane. You watched Aeroplane?
Oh yeah, we watched that actually.
We watched Aeroplane. So I think...
They're swinging from the rafters. Like it's not actually 4 viewers. There's 4 viewers just like left their computers on.
Yeah, that's more likely, isn't it? So I think for us, we love a bit of comedy. We like it. We want to make light of all what's going on, because the world is a bit doom and gloom at the moment. So do what you like, whether it's reading Ladybird books and looking at your wasted youth, reliving it through eBay.
Wasted youth.
Yes.
Or for me, it's miniatures.
Well, look, and you've got your miniatures.
Yeah, I love my miniature painting. That's what I do.
And you were talking about the books that you used to read. It's talking about books and the
fighting fantasy books.
You were talking about the fighting fantasy.
That is my teenage years. Because we watched Aquaman. There's a range of books, fighting fantasy books, that started in I think it was the 80s.
Steve Jackson, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Ian Livingstone. And there's one called Demons of the Deep, and it's it just reminded me. It was like where you become a merman, and they're adventure books. So you play the character, and then you've got to basically fight your way through and survive. But then, yeah, you become a merman in it, and you're in the ocean, and it was just like Aquaman.
Just to explain the premise of them, so that it was a fantasy version with the made for young children from Puffin books.
It was originally, yeah. I'm not sure when they started. It was
they were probably in the mid-80s because I remember them at primary school.
Yeah,
and I was at primary school. I was in juniors till 87. I'll
probably tell you they're all over there, but.
We go get them, share them.
No, so I think it was about 81, maybe.
Yeah,
because
they were the Osborne did Choose Your Own Adventure, which is the ones I used to use with the dice, and then we went over to those. And I remember we had a couple of them.
You bought me one, that zombie apocalypse one.
Yeah,
how fitting. Can you survive the zombie apocalypse?
No, probably not. I'd last 2 minutes. So I can't even watch. What was the?
You hate zombies, don't you? Absolutely hate. She hates zombies. But that is your severe, claustrophobic anxiety trigger.
What's that one that?
What, The Walking Dead?
Yeah, no. There was a comedy one. I didn't
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I think there's talk of them making a sequel.
No. They can keep
hopefully
it.
they will.
They can keep it.
They can keep it
along with The Quiet Place.
No, we're going to watch that. No. Belinda and I will report back to you.
Now, I heard. I've just realised something. If that's on Netflix, there is something called the Netflix Party, which is something that Netflix do. Apparently, you Google it, have a look, and Google it. So, she's watching Doctor Who. I like Doctor Who, Debbie. You don't like Doctor Who, do you?
Is that what she's saying? She says Doctor Now. So she could be either saying Doctor No, the Bond film, or Doctor Who.
Doctor Now. Oh, that might be something we don't even know about.
Don't know, unless,
there's a new series that I do like that you won't like. Mum told me about today.
Go on.
Belgravia. It's by Julian Fellows. It's the new Downton Abbey, but set in London. So there we go. So I'll probably watch that. So
it's a bit like Call the Midwife.
Yes.
Not my
I like Call the Midwife.
Oh.
So anyway, get it. See, this is what happens.
Don't get me wrong, okay? Because I'm a complete oddball myself, so I watch a lot of weird things.
So we've what else?
Not that that's weird, of course. The Call the Midwife isn't weird.
No, it's good.
Yeah, but it's just not.
Jenny Agnett's in that,
Right. She's aged a bit now.
Yes, she is. She's there we go. Going back to bringing it back to the Railway Children, which is one of my favourite films. Yeah. I do love that. We've also got that on iTunes as well.
We must finish watching Swallows and Amazons.
We've seen.
Swiss Family Robinson. Oh, I'm getting it all mixed up.
That's another one of my favourite films, Swallows and Amazons. We've got all these great films we can watch in lockdown. But what I was going to say was you can have a Netflix party. There is an extension apparently on Google Chrome, which means that Mum, 56 minutes.
56 minutes and counting. As the mother-in-law just wipes the saliva from her chin. I hope you're not too bored.
So yeah, you can have a Netflix party. So
we've got to hit 60 minutes.
Not Amazon, on Google Chrome, there's an extension on your browser, which means that you can. I don't know whether it's if you all watch Netflix at the same time or you piggyback on somebody else's Netflix account, but it's all above board because it's something that Netflix have actually done. It's an extension that's actually been created by Netflix, but you can actually have a watch party in the same way as you can. Doctor Now 600. I love £600 Live.
That's all you watch on YouTube. This is brilliant. Every time I come downstairs, and it just shows you, like what you've been watching, and then on the feed of YouTube, it just suggests all these videos linked to what your topics. You just watch. I know it's all Weight Watching topics, but you just watch all these huge, like obviously people that like that.
£600 Live.
Yeah, and what's the other one? You used to watch something called The Biggest Loser.
No.
That was a show, though.
No, the other one I watch is the one with the doctor from the UK, where they got the one that's
they have the pop-up
big
clinic
lady, and then they had the
super size versus super skinny.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the one I like. So I watched that, and the other one, what was it? Secret Eaters. That was another good. See, and also the other thing I do, if I
secret eaters.
if I'm really, this is the one that made you laugh. If I'm really hungry and I fancy something like a McDonald's and stuff, which we haven't had. When was the last time we had McDonald's?
I honestly cannot remember. That is the absolute truth.
So I watched them on YouTube. Don't I? You catch
She
me.
sits and watches people eat McDonald's on YouTube because she can't eat one. I mean, that is just... So that's another thing I see on the feed. You know, just, yeah, there's that girl at the moment, and she's kind of, I don't know if she's like round our way, but she's not so... Yeah, people like eating a KFC or eating a Mackie D's.
She's brilliant.
And you sit there almost sniffing the screen. It's like as they get a bit of chicken out of the bucket. It's just, oh, you bless you, my child. You're so good. Oh, 59 minutes.
We've gone over an hour.
Okay.
We're going to have to go, I think. I'm quite red and flushed. Look at me. Oh dear.
Oh, brilliant. We need to meet that Belinda.
You would love Belinda.
Okay.
Now let me tell you all about Belinda.
Tell me all about it.
Now Belinda, she does this great thing, and she'll talk about it.
What part of the country are you in, Belinda?
You don't ask people.
Oh, just at the part of the country, not just give me your full address. Just what you know.
So Belinda does that.
1 hour. Look, the mother-in-law is just timing us. 1 hour. Get off now. Get out. Your time is up.
She
Try
wants to watch
number 5.
Nadia Sawalha.
Oh, does she? Can't she do it on catch up? Seriously.
So,
Kent. Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
Near us.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent.
So Belinda, she does raver size, I think it is, or clubber size, where is
that where you all just got your headphones on?
No.
It's like, you're just like
it's sort of like
just dancing quietly with your glow sticks.
They had the glow sticks.
But you've only got the music on you, so like the whole hall.
You can have your white clubs. Do you remember you used to?
I do. I used to go to all the clubs.
So you'd like that?
Yeah.
Whereas I just couldn't. No.
You couldn't.
No, not that one. I like my tap dance.
Yeah, but you can have it what you want on the headphones, can't you? I like my tap dancing. Talking about you standing there with your tap shoes on, while we're all like, you know.
I focused down Ginger Rogers and a bit of worship music.
Oh God, we're like chalk and cheese. Seriously, our music taste couldn't be any more further apart.
Oh, I like Disney princess
songs. She's Disney show tunes and worship music, and I'm like extreme metal, death metal, and you know, but that's not all I listen to. I listen to anything from Clannad to Napalm Death, but yeah, and anything in between. But I don't really do show tunes or Disney, do I?
But I
did on the odd bit.
I did like Shakespeare's Sister. I took you to a Shakespeare's Sister gig.
I've still yet to take you to an Entombed gig. Yeah, you'll love that one. In fact, when Necro Gobbler come play, once this has passed, hopefully. You will definitely come, but you'll love that. You'll love because
I like the little goblin man.
Yeah. So,
do you know what I bought today on iTunes? I honestly, I'm not sponsored by iTunes.
Watch it, mother.
It's just
watch it. Yeah, I can't believe what the age you thought I was last week. That is just sacrilege.
What did she think?
No Mother's Day card for you.
No, she didn't. She got a virtual
Didn't she say I was 50? I'm not 50. How dare you? You swine.
Nearly.
Watch it. I'm not nearly. I'm still in my mid-40s. I am. Sometimes I forget how old I am.
You're going to be 47 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 47. Yeah.
A bit more than mid-40s.
50, you swine. How dare you? I'm a very young. Age is just a number.
It is.
Absolutely. There you go.
It is. You can hang it on the door.
That's why I love the 80s. Not far off. Watch it, mother. I'm gonna get her a mother-in-law's tongue, Sansevieria plant. I'm growing one from a little seedling.
Yeah, it's nice, that one.
Yeah, I need
and
to
also it smells quite nice when that one flowers.
Oh, the flowers are amazing. They don't flower very often.
Yeah, we've had a couple of flowers off of that.
See, we just go from one thing to another. 1 minute we're talking about death metal, then we're talking about house plants and show tunes and worship music.
Well, I think it's quite a well-rounded household.
No, it is, absolutely.
It is. We get on.
We are like the Addams family. We're like a.
I love.
We are just both oddballs in our own rights. I mean, there's me, which is like, you know, somewhere in between male and female, and then there's you, just being you, really.
Just being me. I'm just Leanne. In my love, this is a non-scale.
And I tried this on last night, and it fit me very well.
I like this. And I got this in New Look. It was 25% off, and I feel like I look like the mother from. Do you know? Let me tell you about my fantasy when I was a child. One of my favourite programs when I was a child was The Little House on the Prairie. And I wanted to marry Michael Landon, and I wanted him to be my husband. And I so wanted to be the mother out of Little House on the Prairie. And this dress reminded me of the mother in Little House on the Prairie. And I got extremely excited about it. When
you wanted me to try it on as well.
Yes.
And I did. And I was wondering why you wanted me to try it on.
Well,
you were like, put it on.
Because I wanted you to see what it would
But then when I tried it on, I said, oh, this is so nice. You've lost it. It's mine now.
No, the reason why I wanted to see it on him is because you're the size I want to be.
I'm a 29-inch waist.
In a couple of months' time. So I want to see.
Not in a couple of months' time.
No, in a couple of months' time. So he's my virtual mannequin.
Absolutely. Variety is the spice of life. If we were all the same, the world would be such a dull, boring place.
So honestly, I don't know what it's going to be like. We're going to have to watch this back later because it saves.
Oh, is it recording? I didn't know. I was going to ask you. Does it record?
I think it does. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if it stays on now. I need to find out. I don't.
Well, it's an hour and 5 minutes. So thank you for 5 people hanging with us.
Oh,
seriously, God bless you. Thank you for staying. That's what it's all about.
But we didn't know what to say. We honestly didn't know what we were going to come up and do today.
I know you just said to me, we're going to do a live feed, and it was like, okay, what are we going to do? So we're just going to improvise.
Before. And I think for us, we wanted to create. And I said to you, didn't I? Let's make it positive. Let's make it supportive.
Yeah, just to encourage people.
Let's have a laugh. And I hope that you've seen exactly what our personalities are. Liz and Mum will tell you because she's in the comment section. She's talking. You can chat to her.
Aww.
She will she'll tell you that this is exactly how we are all the time. We don't. Totally. This is not put on for the camera. We are chalk and cheese, but we giggle.
That's what it's all about. We love in any relationship. I think the day you stop making each other laugh is the day, but we make each other laugh all the time, and that's what it's all about.
And we just love each other, don't we?
Oh, thank you. So nice to have made your night. Thank you, Belinda. Seriously, honestly, thank you. God bless you. Oh.
So I don't know what the next couple of weeks are going to bring with the weight loss and the Weight Watchers and Slimming World and whatever you're following, but we want to keep in touch with you. And I think, do you want to do this again next week?
Yeah, I'm up for doing it. Yeah.
Shall we do it?
If they want me, if they want you.
Do you want us invading your space next week?
Invading your houses, your living room, your bedroom.
Wherever you are, even if you're on the toilet.
Absolutely.
And that's a touchy subject at the moment, isn't it?
Well, I'm not going to say a word, otherwise it will descend into pure depravity.
Well, no, so the fact that your toilet paper's been rationed.
Oh, I'm good.
I know you are.
One little square. And we haven't stockpiled on toilet roll.
No, we haven't.
In fact, what we've got, we've actually made last. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that really does teach you a lesson in life.
I've been telling you that for ages. How much toilet paper do you eat on a daily basis? It feels like it.
I don't eat it.
Do you know?
Shut up. Just shut up.
No. Confession time.
No. I know what you're going to say.
Down it goes. Doesn't like to sit on a cold seat. So down it goes on one side, across the middle.
That is
too much information.
Yeah, and that is.
But that's wasteful.
Yeah, I know, and I've learned that lesson.
I've been telling you that for years.
I just don't like a really cold toilet seat on my little bum. But now I do. I've endured them. But seriously, what I was going to say, it teaches us all a lesson how to appreciate all the things that we take for granted that we buy when we go shopping, and you think, right, make it last. Like, make your toilet roll last. Use 1 or 2 squares. Only for what you need to use it for, and it really does help. And I think that is a damn good life lesson that we can all learn with many things, not just toilet roll. And it conserving the planet. And all the rest of it.
And look, be kind to one another. That's one of the biggest things that I've been trying to learn this year, is to continue to be kind to each other. And if we can't be kind in these times, when can we be kind? We need to be kind to each other. And I think that, continue to be kind and stay positive. And I think that's the best way that that we're going to get through it all.
Yeah, but I'm happy to do this.
So I think that we'll just disband the weight loss thing. I think that's probably going to be it.
Absolutely, Mother. That is the motto of the night. You know what we just said. Sorry, I'm waffling.
Don't use too much toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I think you can use the diner vans now.
Do you know, in my job, okay, you can use leaves because I work in gardens all the time. Therefore, no toilet roll is required. There's many leaves that have a very wide surface.
Just make sure
and that's,
you don't
just
use
get back to nature.
metals,
yeah, exactly. Don't use those. But some people might do. They could pay for that. But there you go. But sorry, you were saying?
I was saying that
we've got to wrap this up.
We do need to wrap it up because we need to have an end to this. But we want to say that I think that next week we'll happily do this. We'll call it the Sunday service. It will not be in the same way as we're doing Slimming Well because obviously we don't know. But it might be. It all depends on what we get told on Zoom. And I'm going to definitely do the Zoom. I think it's worth doing for me to motivate other people as well in our group. But definitely next week.
Yeah,
next week.
People, you know, I'm happy to do it. It's brilliant, you know, just to make people laugh, entertain people, and hopefully not.
I would
drive them away.
Yeah, I would,
fleeing for the hills.
I think what I would say is also as we I think Debbie talks about this as well, and I totally agree with her. We need to make a community and we need to make an online community. Now we have a Facebook page and we do go on there. We both access
You use it a lot more than I do. I hardly ever use it. You started it, but I need to get more involved with it.
So we will let's use that and we can start. If you haven't got a group that you go to, if this is the only sane place or insane place that you come to once a week,
get them off me.
And we can support each other, whether it's your weight loss, whether it's just you feel a little bit isolated, you don't have anyone you can speak to, you want to get some support, some pastoral care. I've got those skills. We can help you, and I want to be able to help everyone. You know, we've got about 600 and odd subscribers. You know, if we can reach out and say to you, you know, in our little corner of the YouTubes, of the interwebs, if we can say we're here, we're still trying to get through life as well as the next person, but if we can help you in any way and support you, we will do.
Absolutely. Here. Yeah.
So we're going to knock off now. We're going to watch the end of Swiss Family Robinson.
We are, yes. I want to watch it now. I'm itching to watch it. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 53 seconds.
I don't know. Who'd have thought we could waffle on for that?
So there you go. But thank you.
Thank
Whoever
you so
is there,
much.
the 4 of you, there were 5. One's gone. They've probably turned to cobwebs by now.
All right. Well, we love you all. And thank you so much for joining us.
Be well, be safe.
And have a great week.
Yep.
Take care.
Bye-bye.